9th at the Spring Championships, but results do not matter because we have the game in front of us. All that matters are the opponents and who they're sitting next to. Let's get it, everybody. Game 1.
We are going in and we are seeing Fiend on that Kaya and Experience on the cannon, and already Experience completely ready, taking Fiend down to orange in a mere 15 seconds, and he's keeping it going.
He's saying, wake up. That's what Cannon does to you, baby. If you were caught sleeping, if you have one bad dodge, we talked about how Spirit exploits a bad dodge. Nothing does it like Cannon, baby. L combos all the way to the side. Experience, this is the best possible way to open, and looking for a way to be able to close, but drifts to the left as Fiend drifts to the right. That's going to be the spike. Is this the stock?
There's no way.
Okay.
Experience has not been hit, Dara. Experience has not been hit.
Wow. 0 to KO. That's unbelievable. And Experience, Cannon again.
Yeah, Cannon again, of course, being the staple of Experience gameplay right now. Nice NC coming out, not going to be able to close anything out though. Experience is still riding on this wave here. Oh my lord, still
you need a
no
mental
Fiend.
reset. After that first stock, you need a mental reset. And Fiend, you know, starting to fight back a little bit, trying to poke out a bit with the spear. But Experience in the CQC is insane.
Fiend definitely has that mental reset that we are seeing. Well, as of, you know, last set we saw, last game we saw no work. Now we're actually seeing quite a bit of work, but that's going to be Fiend going down again. 3 stocks to 1, 1 minute and 22 seconds, and Experience is on the path to a 3 stock.
The decision making from both players was immaculate. GC NSYNC is the only button that Fiend could have actually pressed that would have hit Experience to be able to get the double chase dodge. But Experience was still confident. Still was like, you know what? I don't think you're gonna dodge upwards. I don't think so. I'm just gonna wait. I'm gonna play patient. And look at this lead. You have no dodge.
There's no way, Experience. Come on, give the man a break.
God.
That's a 3 stock. Those
Stone
are like
cold.
those are like 2 0 to deaths. Well, the first one was a clean stock, 2 0 to deaths, and a 3 stock in the same game.
After doing that to Fiend.
PR7 in South America versus PR13 in North America. This is the level of gameplay you have to expect, Dara.
Not even a reaction, not even a smile. Just kept, look at that. Oh, that was so good. Experience just knew, hey, I'm out of resources. You know, I don't have a dodge at this point. I just don't want to get hit by this. But I still like the decision making from Fiend. It was clever.
Look at this. Look at this. I'm sorry. We have to look at this.
This was delicious.
The chase dodge up. The chase dodge up. Like, I feel like a lot of players there would just like spam the exhausted recovery and like just pray to God that it works out. But that was calculated all the way through.
I'm so happy, dude. That was such a sick stock. Experience, played with aggression, played with momentum, and just honestly knew the openings. This isn't unsafe aggression. It's like, hey, I know my opponent doesn't have a dodge. I know I'm 3 stocks to 1. I know how I'm going to be able to get away with this. I know how I'm pressuring you with my position and how I can force certain recovery options. Experience coming in with so much momentum, but Fiend is not number 7 on the South American PR as a joke, right? So we're going to see some adaptation. We're going to see trying to slow this game down. If you can take Cannon away from Experience, if you can slow this game down, I feel like we're going to be seeing a totally different game too. And look at the pace of this one.
Fiend also swapping over to that Hattori. I feel like that break in between games is extremely important for Fiend. Not only does he need to swap up the legend, he needs to swap up his mentality, his mindset, his attitude. He needs to get into this game feeling fresh, because if you feel oppressed as to what happened last game around, you are not going to be able to recover in any capacity.
Keeps going in. Look at the way that Experience is choosing to play these situations, always opting, I'm going to keep chasing you, I'm not going to land, I'm not going to reset, I want that damage. But so does Fiend, as you see him dip out there for the ground pound. Oh my gosh.
Quite even right now. Fiend basically having done the same amount of work this stock that he did the entire last game. Just to put into perspective how one-sided that was. Side say coming out, and that is a stock dropped for Experience. Fiend, could this be the start of greatness?
Yes, and I'll tell you why. A, Experience is not being allowed to play the fast game, but this could be the start of something special. Cannon in hand. We saw how Experience was just able to make that first game completely disappear, all thanks to one weapon. Will we be seeing a repeat of that? Maybe not quite, because let's talk about the Spear Cannon matchup, Paulie.
Okay, I've said it before, Dara. With Spear, if you lose against any kind of weapon, it's not the fault of what weapon you're facing. You can win against every single weapon with Spear. Fiend knows that, I know that, Experience knows that. Fiend is going to be able to take this one down, but he's going to swap to the sword just because you're going to have more consistent KO options.
Yeah, especially when it comes to the juggling and that neutral, you really want to have that sword. I do think it was a good decision from Fiend to swap out weapons in that moment, and not able to actually come in with that sidelight. Experience with that in a safe range. Ooh, somebody wants that stock. Somebody wants that stock.
Six coming out. They're not going to KO, though. It's going to be the D-Light Nair coming out from Experience that's going to take that stock down, taking Fiend down to their last stock.
You know what's scarier than one cannon? Two of them, especially when you're juggling between them. Oh my goodness.
Absolutely. Dare coming out. Fiend trying to commit to this offstage, and Experience wants to build on this damage. And that Sair, I'm pretty sure, was maybe like 2 frames away from letting Experience wall touch.
But you know what? Good stuff to Fiend. That down air is so effective at just poking away enemies slowly, bit by bit into the bottom blast zone. We're seeing the start of something yet again. Ooh, but then ends up going for the neutralite. I don't know what the intention was. Jumping away and not using up a dodge. Good stuff. But catching the dodge now, and that was the 50-50. Experience could have gone to the left or to the right, and either one of those could have KO'd.
Absolutely, that was a massive opportunity for Fiend to use a D-Light, but not going to be able to catch him in one. Experience now on the Katars, looking for this KO. I smell an N-Sig, I smell a recovery. Experience is looking for these options, but no, it's going to be the entire string. It's not going to KO either, though.
Good. Okay, we're seeing Fiend be a lot more patient now with how often these dodges are being popped out. Fiend wanted to go for it all. Gonna be stuck off stage. Yet again, patient, waited out that one, but knows, hey, I can't get a punish. Now comes in with the recovery. That was so active.
Massive. That could have been absolutely massive. Fiend is getting so close, but no! The true combo is going to be able to take them down, and that is 2-0 on the scoreboard. Experience now in a match point, and Fiend needs to take it all the way back.
You can't whiff those. I don't actually know exactly what at the end Fiend ended up pressing, but that was a whiff punish from Experience.
Side sig. That was a spear side sig. Yes, indeed. Also known as maybe cultured individuals also know it as the Kotai tech. There's probably like one person in total in the crowd that might know what Kotai tech is.
I laughed. I did not catch the reference. I wish you didn't actually talk about how exclusive it was to, you know, be in the know about it.
So Kotai is a player that has like 5,000 hours of playtime on Hattori only.
Polly, I like casting with you because you just like pop out like the most like niche facts that often pertain to Europeans.
Yeah,
like,
is
that a European? Is that a European player?
That is indeed a European player.
Okay, there you go. That's how you know
he's
about
quite known because he's like 2200, but like his entire playstyle is only going for clips, and that's all he's done. That's all that he has ever done his entire career.
That's that YouTuber playstyle, baby. Anyways, we're going to be going on to game 3. This is eliminations. If Fiend goes down now, that would be absurd. Conceptually, this would be an incredible upset for Experience as well. But Fiend has some fight in him. He has that dog in him in the form of a sword this time.
We are also seeing, of course, another legend swap. Fiend going over to that Asuri now, swapping. Oh my god, Experience with the ground pound all the way down, finding that KO in 30-second time span.
Experience, I feel like the best way to put this is just aggression. I have no other words, because look at Experience chasing down over and over again, finally getting that neutralite chase dodge up, and that neutralite was so close to connecting, that might have been enough to be able to KO. Fiend was patient, slowing down the pace of the match, looking for the jump call out with the sail, but ended up leaning in a little bit too much. With punish, beautiful stuff with that side sig coming on in there and closing out that sock.
Getting that stock off, keeping it even, not allowing Experience to run away with any kind of lead here. But the thing about Experience is that he will not get his lead by slowly playing neutral. He will get his lead from 100 damage in like 5 seconds, and that is exactly what we just saw.
That's exactly what we want to be seeing. Experience landing with the sail. This is a Qatar battle. They're both swinging. They're mashing a little tiny bit, and Fiend a little bit too far down to connect that neutrally to be able to extend that string. This is so even, Polly.
Incredibly even indeed. Both of the players keeping it very competitive. Fiend evening it out with that end light now. Orange on second stock for both players. 1 minute and 45 seconds into the match. Who's going to be able to find the first KO?
Oh, but Fiend going to be whiffing that neutral. Still not enough of an opening for Experience to get back onto the stage. No weapon in hand. That's the neutral light into the recovery. Good stuff. Continuing to deprive Start of Experience of a weapon who needs that weapon to be able to get something going, and still picks up Katars in time again.
Another reminder, if you just happen to walk by, or if you just happen to stumble upon the stream, this is eliminations bracket. You might see these two names and you think, oh, this is like top 8 winner side. This is eliminations bracket, Dara. And if Fiend does not win this, he is out of the tournament.
But you always have to leave it up to Fiend. We saw this yesterday in twos. Fiend and Hughes needed to lose 2 games before they could actually win that set with the reverse 3-0. My question is, will Fiend have an exact repeat of what happened yesterday yesterday in twos. Experience says, hey, none of that's going to be happening quite yet. Coming in with that side stick with the cannon. This can go any way.
Can definitely go any way right now. Both of the players very healthy on their last stock. The most important stock in Fiend's entire run here. This is what's going to be determining his placement.
Oh, absolutely, Fiend. Slowing down the pace of the match, missing that series. That was just barely misspaced, but I also got to say good stuff to Experience positioning, knowing, hey, I'm outside of the range of this. Good weapon toss. Another good weapon toss. Katari's in hand. How do you get in?
Swapping over to the Katars, not able to punish that end light. That Experience has something going. Not able to find any massive read though. He doesn't really need it. He's going to be able to find that organically. All of this damage now racking up onto Fiend, getting closer and closer to the KO. Going off stage. And the option now. The dare. It's misspaced. Fiend is still in the game, Dara. Ground pound coming out.
Wants to go out there for the ground pound. Wants to go for it all. Waiting patiently. Fiend not going to be getting hit with that day one stuff quite yet. Weapon toss. That's a mix-up weapon toss. And doesn't come back in with the down air.
That's so close! And lights, any move here onto Fiend will KO. Fiend needs just a couple of hits, and that's gonna make him be able to stay in the tournament. But the ground pound is going to unarm Fiend, and now Experience on the Katars. It is looking like Fiend is getting pushed into a corner here, Dara, as
Fiend is staying alive. Fiend is somehow still alive past all of this sword. This is the consistency you need. Slow it down, that's one sale, do not overcommit off stage, but you cannot.
And that's no options! And that's Fiend still in the set, still in the tournament. He's ready to game.
That was so sick, dude. Oh my god. He's so good. He clutched that. That was beautiful. I have no idea how he stayed alive off stage for so long. Fiend just could not, you couldn't KO him.
Yeah, no, Experience definitely was having a rough time finding that KO, and that is definitely because of Fiend. It's not like Experience is bad at KOing. Fiend was doing a phenomenal job at just zoning out everything that you KO.
Experience is excellent at finding KOs. I also cannot speak to the extent of the mental fortitude that you would need as Fiend throughout all of that. Because think about it this way, Experience, especially with these weapons, is the kind that capitalizes off of one bad dodge in disadvantage, who can take a single stock off from white, from yellow, carry you all the way there. And we're seeing Fiend now fight back, mix up these dodges, mix up when am I swinging, when am I jumping out of disadvantage. Experience is no longer getting these super huge strings, but
is he, Dara? Experience, you know, as soon as you think you've got him, he just comes right back. And it's looking like he is coming back again. As soon as you think you've got him, he comes back. Oh my god,
this is a clash. This is a battle. You have no idea which way this is going to go. Both of them constantly on different layers of Yomi outplaying each other. You see Fiend backing off a little bit, just saying, okay, I don't want to keep up this pressure on him. I'm going to need a weapon. Good dodge to the left to be able to avoid that neutral. And that's going to be Experience cleaning up that first stock with a spike.
All the time, you see Fiend below Experience looking for a recovery. And how does Experience deal with that? He just waits longer and then goes for the ground pound. And Fiend has fallen for that maybe 3 times by now.
Oh, excellent stuff coming back onto the stage too to be able to reset. That was almost a chase dodge into the neutralize. That could have been it. That could have been the recovery. That's going to be the recovery. That's going to be the stock. Fiend has those confirms on deck, baby.
Clean KO, not a sliver of doubt in Fiend's mind there with that KO. Extremely clean. Experience now on the cannon, looking to get some damage build up, and he will get it as he catches another dodge. And oh my god, this is looking crazy.
Oh, that GC option was insane. Experience that it connected, that could have been so huge. Dodging up again. Fiend has been consistently getting out of all of these strings from Experience by dodging up. I'm curious to see what the adaptation is going to be, if any, if in time. Fiend backing off a little tiny bit here. Katari's in hand, still going up against his cannon, and Experience is now just saying, hey, I'm going to toss out this weapon. You ready for this? Apparently not. 1, 2, 3 consecutive weapon tosses.
And the end light is coming out. That could have been a KO with the weapon throw, but not just yet. Trying to get it with the dare, and that's the clash! And Experience going down at like yellow.
Why did Experience go off stage like that? With no weapon as well? I felt like where Fiend was going was a little bit telegraphed. And now all of a sudden, Fiend, this is what we saw yesterday. Fiend brought it back from being down 2 games. Paulie, are we going to have a repeat of yesterday's 2s? Or is Experience going to be saying that he has none of that?
We have seen Experience's potential to get early KOs. We have seen his potential to get damage quickly. All he needs to do is do that, but right now, to get that last stock off. That's always where Experience gets stuck within this set. It's to get that last stock off.
Oh, and I like the fact that Fiend is continuously dodging upwards, avoiding incoming series, comes back onto the stage so aggressively. Fiend going in there, trying to catch the landing, but Experience coming down with that ground pound. Now going to be stuck off stage. I don't think Fiend is going to pressure too much, is what I would say. Neutralite into Neutralite. Damage, damage, damage.
Ground pound coming out. Experience getting more and more damage. Could that be it? There it is! Fiend taking it to a game 5. Not ready to give up just yet. We are going to game 5. We're going to a full-on match point. There's been a lot of drawn-out games. All of us are wondering, when is this going to end and who is going to be coming out on top? And this is it. The last match to decide it all, to decide the fate of Experience versus Fiend.
Please, for the love of God, get Fiend a chiropractor after this game, because your body is going to be so tense all the way through. Your whole entire thing is clutch. Everybody right now just coming back behind Experience. He has his friends behind him, just giving him a little bit of coaching just beforehand. This is game 5. 2 games apiece. Yesterday, in twos, I really want to reiterate, the exact same thing happened against the French doubles team. It was Fiend and Hughes. They were down 2 games. They made the reverse 3-0 and in a confident fashion as well. So the question is, will Experience be able to shut that down? Will he be able to stop the prophecy from fulfilling itself? Or is Fiend going to be able to do exactly what he does best, and that is adapt? That is where he exceeds. He ages like fine wine over the course of a set.
Trying to read the expressions here of the players, and I've got to say, Experience looks a little bit out of it. This has been a long set. He was this close to finally getting it.
He tasted it.
Yeah, he tasted it. It was within his reach, and then it was just taken away in the form of Fiend being insane at playing the long game.
Nobody wants to go out now. This is phase 2. This is elimination. I don't know exactly who sent them down here, but they're going to make them regret it. Whoever is going to go through a tear on losers. Fiend excels in the best of 5 format. This is why I'm so happy to see him here. This is where he is able to adapt to the highest possible ability. Now, Neutralites on deck, dealing so much damage.
But then again, Fiend does excel at this best of 5 format, but Experience, on the other hand, is able to get those early KOs, and he has been so close. It has been within his reach, it has been within his grasp, but after an unfortunate early stock there coming out from Experience, it's going to be a little bit harder since he's playing from the back foot.
You need to take a deep breath. You need to reset. You have Cannon on deck. You cannot go through the same predictable options. Experience, if you keep your head in this, you'll be able to get those same strings. Going out there again, dash dancing in the air as well. Going to be looking for that Neutralite, doesn't actually find it. Yo, he's committing. He's looking for that stock.
N-Sig was coming out, but it's not going to be connecting. Experience now finally on the guitars, going for the N-Sig, not able to connect with anything, and Fiend is looking confident as ever, Dara.
Oh, big whiff on that side sig, but Experience is going to be finally punished for it. He's fishing, he's shaking his head. He's not happy about that. He's reverting to some kinds of habits. Fiend is now just slowing down the pace of the game. He's not getting hit by these funny little options, and he's punishing him for it. Experience, you need to reset. You've got to reset that mental, baby.
Needs to reset that mental indeed. Ser coming out, almost getting a KO. I feel like the turning moment for Experience would be if he managed to find a KO right here. And there it is. I would say if it KO'd, but goddamn was that close, Dara.
Oh, and Fiend still has enough time to pop out another side. Experience taking his time. He's not rushing. He's not rushing into anything silly. He gets that Neutralite to be able to set up a juggle. Fiend is going to be looking for that GC downlight because that can combo into the either like the N-Sig or perhaps the recovery. But this is now Fiend's edge guard. You can flow chart this and oh no.
Fiend's HP is the epitome of barbecue red, Dara.
I'm smelling something smoky, man. But Experience keeps it in the game. He's down a whole stock. We have seen him melt stocks before. We have seen him do that game 1. We've seen him do that game 2. He needs to tap into that same level of momentum. The question is, does he have that fight still in him? Does he have that fight still in him?
He does indeed, Dara. There's a massive strain coming out, evening it out. Not completely just yet, but it's getting closer and closer. Just a couple of more hits, and this is definitely still doable.
Slowing it down, but he's used up almost all of his resources. Now Fiend has a free juggle at this point. Good dodge up to be able to delay the descent. He's not rushing from the corner. He's slowing it down exactly where he needs to. But you have to play more than perfect. You have to outplay your opponent, especially with this type of deficit. Oh my goodness, that almost got the KO.
Almost KO right there. Orange. Experience being orange here. Playing from a back. Fiend getting close to that KO. Closer and closer. Ground pound. Is it going to be connecting? And Experience is able to turn it around.
It's nobody's game yet. It ain't over until it's over. until we see that final stock disappear.
We know
it
what
is not
Experience
over.
is able to do on that Cannondara. He's able to make stocks absolutely melt away, but Fiend is so close, and there it is! Fiend 3-2ing Experience in the eliminations bracket, sending Experience down.
That's not the way that you want to go either. Experience finally coming alive in that stock 2 and stock 3, but ultimately, SDs are tough, man. SDs are tough, they put you behind, but we have to really give it up to Fiend here. Fiend did the thing, he fulfilled the prophecy, he fulfilled the Fiend and Use prophecy from yesterday, where he got that reverse 3-0. He brought it back this time around as well. He played solid, he played consistent, but most importantly, he started mixing up the way that he was dodging out of disadvantage. Experience came in so stylized, so aggressive from the get-go. We saw more dodges directly upwards, up and away, because I feel like Cannon is really good horizontally and like almost on the axes, but then when it comes to diagonal pressure, that's how like Fiend was just able to land and get past all those massive strings.
Absolutely, and getting past those massive strings, as you mentioned, is appears to be the most important thing to do if you're trying to take down Experience. Fiend was able to find that way, and that is eventually what led him to that victory. That W.
That was beautiful play. Congratulations to Fiend. Gonna be still tailing on through this elimination bracket. This is gonna be the end of Experience's run through, maybe a little bit sooner than he would have liked, but still, honestly, this was a phenomenal performance. That offstage sequence was nothing short of impeccable.
And ladies and gentlemen, if you are a fan of Experience, Experience is still in the tournament. Like Experience Made is in eliminations bracket for top 4 2v2.
Yep, 2s is just as viable format. He still got some fight left in him. He did incredible, but ultimately, at the end of the day, Fiend was clutch. Experience opened off a little bit hot, and I gotta say, this is just something when it comes to a little bit higher period players, when it comes to a little bit older players as well, they're kind of better at like sort of the long game at adapting. I feel like Fiend especially just thrives in the best of 5 format. We saw that come into play here, mixing up on the defensive options, slowing it down, playing on the ground a little bit more, making sure his jumps weren't called out nearly as much with his series. And he still played aggressive at the end. He was still going after those like risky ground pounds. Not a whole lot of them came into fruition, but I gotta applaud both players. That was one of the finest sets of Brawlhalla that I've ever had the pleasure of casting, and I'm glad I got to do it here with you at PCX.
Yes, it was absolutely amazing, but as you mentioned, a player does have to go down, and now that we're in the eliminations bracket, a player does have to get completely knocked out of the tournament, and this time around, it just looks like Experience.